Hi. So the tutorial for today, we're going to take a look at how to write a college, university application letter. Sometimes called a personal statement, a motivation letter. Makes no difference really. It's the letter that you write when you are trying to get into a university or to a college. So you have to show them why you want to go there, why you want to take that particular course, all the things about you as a person that would make them want to have you there, etc. So there's quite a few things which you need to do and which you need not to do, which we'll see in a moment. Now, I got a request from a student earlier this week. She's applying for a university. She sent me a letter. It needed a bit of work, mainly in terms of structure, organisation. As I say, it's a bit like when you're writing a cover letter for a job. You have to show why you have interest in that particular job, that particular company, why they should employ you, and what personality characteristics and features you have to match what they are asking for. It's the same general idea in essence. Any particular institution has an ethos, it has particular students that it wants and those it doesn't want. The course itself has certain, I don't know if you want to call them key performance indicators or key skills that they want you to have to be a success on the course. Anyway, I've got a list of things to do, things not to do. I've got a structure which you can use more or less for any application letter. I should say there's a bit of a difference between the American college essay and the UK European kind of university essay. I don't want to go too deeply into the difference between those. This is just a very general idea about how to write a motivational letter. I'm not going to say this is for America, this is for the UK, etc., because I don't have time and I can't be asked. So this is just a very general introduction to what you need. A list of do's, a list of don'ts. I've got a structure that you can use for more or less any of these. And I've got a couple of examples. Now, obviously, the focus is going to be different. Now, if you're an undergraduate and you don't have a lot of life experience or any experience, what you put down is not going to be the same as a mature student. For example, when I applied to the University of Bath and the University of Nottingham, I was 41 and 45 respectively. So I had a lot of life skills, lots of work experience. So everything that I wrote was more or less related to, me, to my own experience. So what you put in obviously is going to be different from person to person, of course. Anyway, so I've got some more things here. We'll go behind the screen and we'll take a look. Okay. So let's get started then. So in this video, as I say, I'm going to talk about how to write, so just move that a second so you can see it. That's good, okay. How to write that all-important application motivational letter, sometimes called a statement of purpose, motivation letter, personal statement. I don't know, there's quite a few things that it could be called. When you're applying for an academic course. Now, as I mentioned in the introduction, it's true there's some differences between UK and USA applications in terms of the organisation of the letter, also for mature students, master's students, undergrads, regarding experience and skills, etc. But in general terms, we can say that the essential ingredients of such a letter are the same. And this is what we're going to be talking about now. So I've got a structure, and for those of you that might need it, a template that you can copy and just change the details. It's a bit of a cheat, but
Well, it's not really. I mean, well, we'll come to that in a second. It's true you can find some examples on the internet, but most unis these days do run the letters through anti-plagiarism software. So if you copy something from the internet and it's too close, it will show, and they might be asking some questions. But anyway, so before we look at the mechanics of writing itself, there's a few things we need to think about. Now, the number one thing, research, research, research. Now, what admissions tutors hate is very general, generic cut and paste applications. Now, it's the same for the job, right? I used to work for a company in Turkey, and I was in charge of recruiting new teachers, and I used to get some bullshit. You know, the same letter, it's obvious it was a cut and paste job. They sent it to 50 other schools and it went straight into the bin. See you fucking later. So you don't want that. So research is all important. So as your letter will need to explain why exactly you want to go to that particular institution, to that particular course, you need to have some evidence that shows you've done some research, that everything that you put down ties in to that place and that course, not any course in general. Now, I know for UK undergrads applying to the UCAS, you're not allowed to write a specifically tailored letter because they send it to, I'm not sure if it's 5 choices now. When I was an undergrad, it was 6. But they send the same letter, so you've got your first choice, your backup choice, and then another 4. And UCAS send it to all those. So you can't say at the University of York, Nottingham, Bath, because it goes to all, you know. But I'm talking about here about just applying for one. So that's just something to have to bear in mind. So, as I say, admissions tutors, they don't like very general cut and paste generic applications because you were too lazy to write a new letter for every application. They don't like that shit. I wouldn't either. So, I mean, that's what you should do. It's the same for when you are applying for a job. If you're too general and there's not even a mention of the name of the college or the uni, it's going into the bin. Nobody's going to read it. So, all this information, it's always available. It's on the website, so you need to, you know, go to the uni, go to a website. There's all the different links. Look at the academic rankings of the institution. You can find, you know, there's the league tables, there's the Guardian, there's the Times, the Financial Times, the Telegraph. There's other websites where you can find rankings and details for the institutions themselves, the university websites themselves, and the departmental pages. They'll have information about the course, the units, the modules, when you take it, how it's assessed. Is it examinations? Is it written work? Is it coursework? Is it end of term? Is it continual assessment? So you need to be aware of all this before you start to write. So again, all of the information's there. So you need to do your research first, and you need to think how you can, right. And so the basic question, as you see here, is actually why? Everything that you put down should be to answer that question. Why? Why do you want to come here? Why do you want to do this? Why should we accept you? Why? You need evidence, reasons, proof to answer all these things. So everything that you put down has to tie in with the course, with the skills that they ask for to be a success, the modules, the units, etc. Everything has to connect in some way. If it doesn't, don't include it. Don't put it in. So, so be clear why you want to go there and not anywhere. Because if it's too general, going in the bin. So you've got to market yourself. It's the same as when you're applying for a job. Why should they accept you and not me? Or him or her? You know? Why? So, again, back to that key word, research. And you'll see, I mentioned this quite a number of times. Research, that is key. You've got to research for college, for uni, anything that they want. You know, of course, grades are important, but it's not all about that. It's about experience, non-academic activities that have taught you things that you can use to show how you fit that particular course. So, again, everything needs to be connected. If it's not connected, don't put it in. It's just that simple. Research, once again, why? You know, if you don't do it, you can't answer this. Anyway, so you have to be very careful what to include, yes, but also be careful what to exclude, what not to put in. So that is to say, if it's irrelevant to your lifelong passion for Morris dancing, I'm sure that's fine. But if you're applying for a degree in physics, it's irrelevant. They don't want to know. They want to show something, some activity that you've done that will help you on that course. So, and then you have to turn this evidence into specific examples, right? How exactly did you develop those communication skills? You know, we see this often, I have excellent communication skills. Well, how did you get them? How can you prove to me or to anybody that you have these? Where's the proof? How did you get them? You know, how was working in a shop, how did that give you an insight into the psychology of shoppers? You know, how did what you do turn into this? So, evidence, we want some specific examples. So, ABC, action, what you've done, achieved, read, or experienced, and then what is the benefit? Show what you gained or learnt from it, and then course, how is it relevant to your application? If it's not relevant, don't put it in. We don't want a complete life story. It all began in 1994 when I was a young lad. We don't want that. We want specifics about how your experience, your recent life is applying to this course. If you don't have it, don't include it. So let's go through it section by section then. So here's some ideas. Now, you should be writing several drafts or versions of this. You will be doing extremely well if you only do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Some people do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 12 drafts. You don't really need those if you get the correct advice, but you will still need to be writing several drafts. So this is just to give you something to think about. So first, why are you applying for this course and not that course? Why does this interest you? Why do you think you are suitable? Why should we accept you? How do your current or previous academic work or studies, how do they relate to the course, and how? And again, you'll see this word, evidence. Don't say something without giving me some example that proves it. So, have you taken part in any activities that somehow relates to this? You know, say you're applying to be a psychologist, a health psychologist, and you've done some volunteer work in a hospice for mentally ill patients. I mean, that's a good example. Any skills or particular achievements, again, that you can link in to the course. Any hobbies, interests, or social activities. Now, don't put them down unless they connect to the course in some way. Don't put them down. If there's no direct link between them and what you do, and what you want to do, don't use it. Any work experience. Now also, they want to see your future plans, right? How will you use this in the future? You know, why are you taking this course? How is this course fitting into your wider plan of what you intend to do in the future, in your career or further academic studies? We have to have this. Okay, so now let's have a look at what not to do, what not to include now. Okay, so will you please not put a quote at the start? Please, just, you know. I mean, I have seen this in undergrad essays 1,000 times. God alone knows why they put some bullshit quote. So, according to Winston Churchill, you have to, according to Nelson Mandela, blah, blah, blah. Who gives a... No, we don't care, right? We don't want to see what someone else thinks. How's that applying to you, applying for this particular course or for anything else? So don't put a quote. And the missions people want to know what you think, not what someone else thinks. So we don't want to and that also it's a waste of your word count. Now, some of these motivation statements, letters, applications, personal statements, however you call them, have a strict word count. So why put a quote that's going to be wasting words? It's kind of pointless. So don't. No quote, if you please. Also, no random lists. We don't want lists. We don't want to know everything that you've done, seen, read, experienced, only if it relates to what you're applying for. If it doesn't, don't include it. No cliches, please. If you go onto YouTube, look at any application, a video, they will say the same. No, from me, I've been interested in psychology from a young age. They don't want that. They see this all the time. It's one thing that turns them off. Don't use those. Okay. Don't make a sweeping statement either. I'm highly motivated. I have excellent. Unless you've got specific examples to prove it, don't put it. Passion. Now, you know, in jobs too, this is ridiculously overused. If you have a LinkedIn profile, if you take a look there, you see all these people, I have a passion for marketing. I have a passion for advertising. Well, if you've got a passion for marketing, you should be getting out more, because that's a bit sad. But still, save your passion for something that is deserving of it, like world peace or ending child poverty, not advertising or marketing, because that's just bollocks. So be very careful. Don't use passion. Much overused word. So dubious expressions, probably copied from the internet. It fueled my desire. I was enthralled by. Well, okay. If it's not something that you would say in real life, don't use it. Now, don't plagiarize. Lies, exaggeration. When you are at college, university, every essay that you submit gets run through some anti-plagiarism piece of software on purpose. So do your personal statements, personal applications. You know, these will be run through it too. So if it's something that you've copied, they will find out. Okay, and also if you have to have an interview too, if you put something there and they ask you about it and it's not true, you're going to get caught out. If you say, I've read every book that Nietzsche ever wrote, and you go for an interview and the guy says, you said you've read everything of Nietzsche. What do you think of his statement in the Antichrist where he said this. So don't exaggerate. Don't say things that you haven't done, seen, read, etc. No humour. I shouldn't have to explain this one. We don't want jokes. Not appropriate. Don't be negative. You sometimes see people say, well, you know, I really wanted to be a doctor, but I can't stand the sight of blood, so I thought I'd be a psychologist instead. So don't be negative. Just be positive. So only focus on positives. Show your enthusiasm, not your passion. Enthusiasm. Why do you want to do it? I really want to do this because I saw something, I read something, I've done something that inspired me to want to take this course. That's good. Now, irrelevant personal facts. You like collecting stamps. I'm sure it's fine. If it's nothing to do with why you should be accepted, to do with why you, we put in that, should be accepted, don't mention it, don't include it. It's kind of pointless. So let's now turn to structure. Now, in my other videos about essay writing, the letter task, task 1 for the IELTS, as you will have seen, I do put a structure down, and there's a similar structure based on a letter that you can use. So let's take a look at that for a second. Okay, so first line, the greeting. Dear sir or madam, to whom it may concern, etc. If you don't know the name of the tutor, the admissions person, then that's what most people use. To whom it may concern. Now then, reason, why are you writing this? So it's obvious, but instead of putting some quote or some other random roundabout shit, get straight to the point. Boom, I'm writing to apply for. So you can see, I am writing to express my interest in applying for the master's bachelor's program in blah 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 at the University of, etc. So why are you writing this letter? Next, reason, why are you applying? So I don't know, I'm currently studying for a bachelor's at the University of York in my final year. I wish to continue my academic career because I need a master's, blah blah blah. So reason for applying. Now next, we need some supporting details now. So why this particular institution? Why do you want to come here to the University of York, Bath, etc. Right? In choosing my next step in academia, I've decided to apply to your institution because, now this is where your research, it comes in. So if you haven't done it, you're not going to be able to answer this. I decided to apply to an institution because nobody else will take me, because I couldn't think of anywhere better. Not enough. We need specific reasons why. Because your academic standing, your psychology department is in the top 5 in the UK and blah, 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 blah. Okay. More details supporting about the course. Why that particular course? So, again, research, what's the modules, what's the units, who's taking them, who's going to be the tutors on that course. Maybe there's some well-known guys, some famous people who you want to learn from. I see from the website that Professor so-and-so is taking Unit 2 in the second year. I'm a big admirer of his work and I would love to study. Now, that sounds good. Okay. So, on to the next part. Why you? Not me, and not him, her, it. Why you? This is the question. I believe I'm a suitable candidate for this program because now we need to know the supporting details. Why? So I put your academic ones first. In my current studies, I have taken psychology in blah blah blah, which matches the module in the course of blah blah blah. Also, I took a unit in this, which you also have in your master's which develops and extends my knowledge in, everything's got to connect. Why this links to this, links to this, links to that. Okay. Then supporting details, non-academic. So and also, it could be activities, kind of hobbies, it could be work experience, anything outside of the classroom or the lecture hall that you've done. As I said, some volunteer work in a hospice or a care home if you're applying for medical kind of course, working for your local MP if you're applying for the politics course, or something such as that, something else that you can show why you are interested in this particular course, something else that you have done that connects you to that. Okay. Now, your future plans. They want to they want to know where this is going. Where is it going to take you in the future? Are you going to stay in academia? Are you going to take a master's? Are you intending to take a doctorate? Are you intending to work in academia? Are you intending to move into private practice, to do this? They want to know how this course will help you to achieve your life and career goals. A reasonable question, you might say. So, at the end, a summary. If I am accepted, I am confident that if I'm accepted on this course at your University of Bath, this will give me the foundations to do that, and I'm looking forward to beginning my studies, etc. So it's just a bit of a summary. Then the closing. I thank you for taking my application into consideration. Call to action. I look forward to hearing from you soon. And then yours sincerely, of course, because you don't know the name of the person to whom you are writing. Okay, so that's the general idea there. Now, I've got a couple of template stroke examples that we can have a look at. So let's take a look at these now. Okay, so what can we see here? So this is the first example. So, dear sir, to whom it may concern, etc. Reason. It's my ambition to become a political advisor. Therefore, I am applying for the Masters of Political Science at the University blah 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 in Barcelona starting in September 2017. Okay. So, why this institution, why this course, etc. So, thanks to my fast progress, I have decided that studying and doing research, blah, 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 I've studied communication and information as a bachelor at blah, blah, blah. It was during this I found the interaction between is most interesting, intriguing. More specifically, this interest developed in the direction of politics. What is the role of media, blah, 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 blah. After I obtained this, I pursued a master. Although my current master, I have noticed, so again, we've got some clear reasons about why your interest is being shaped in pursuing this particular course. Okay, and then let's have a look at the next paragraph. And now this is where it goes into the detail of the course, right? So, blah, 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 as the profile of the masters at the University of blah, blah, blah. So we've got courses like democracy and citizenship, public policy analysis, blah, 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 which would give me more insight, considering the profile as well as the content. So here, I mean, this is a simplified version because it's not about a specific course, which if it were, I would have put a lot more information in. But that's a general idea. You've got to break it down, research, show why you want to take this course. What is it about this particular course, the units, the modules, the tutors that makes you want to apply? Now, about you now. So I consider myself to be highly motivated. Well, I would explain how that would be. But my interest in politics emerges from my experience in working with a Labour Party at a political party in the UK or something. Here I attend meetings, devote myself. So we've got some evidence here of non-academic activities, some kind of volunteer work with the local Labour Party, say. Okay, so that's a good reason why. And then a bit of a closing, studying political science at the University of blah 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 is an opportunity I would like to grab. I don't like grab. Seize is better. To seize with both hands. And I hope that during my stay, blah 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 blah. And then the closing, considering my academic performance, I'm convinced I'll be a valuable addition. I hope to be given this chance, and then thank you for considering my application. That's it. So that's not bad. That's not bad. I mean, obviously that's a bit of the general example, and you would need to put a bit more detail and personal information in it, but essentially that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Okay, we've got another one here. We've got another example. Let's just have a quick look at this. So, dear sir, madam, why are you writing? Because I'm applying to your master program of cognitive neuroscience beginning in September 2008. Oh dear, 2017. My career ambition, okay. As you can probably see, I copied this off of the internet purely for your edification. So in high school, I did this. I took this course. I'm top 5. Then why that particular course? Because they went to an open day at the university. I want to study because you do this and this and this. A little bit more about them as a person. A little bit more about what they did outside of academia. They worked did some kind of promo work at the university. They helped other students as a mentor. Okay. And then another one here. Internship. They're doing an internship that will show them this and this and that. Again, I want to study at Stanford because of your outstanding system with many distinguished scientists. Now, I would have been tempted to put some detail in, what exactly, but still, that's still the general idea. We want to, they want some, here they say something like, from speaking with students and professors from your university, I am confident. So, they're basically showing some kind of reason and evidence. They've done some research, they've spoken to people, they've been to an open day. So that's pretty clear reasons why they want to apply there. And then a summary, given my past history, I'm confident, I'm sure, and furthermore, and then the closing. Thank you for considering my application. I look forward to your acceptance. So that's basically it. That's all that you need. Obviously, though, this is just a very general idea, and of course, there's no one size fits all for any application. Most institutions have their particular requirements, which they will tell you. The number of characters, number of words, what specifics they want you to say. So if in doubt, consult the institution website before and during the application process. They will tell you exactly what they want you to include in such a letter statement. But in general terms, this is more or less what they are asking for. They want evidence, details, reasons. They want to know why you want to go to that university, why you want to do that particular course, why they should take you, what personal characteristics, what academic characteristics, what outside activities, what can you bring that relates to that particular course. If you can do that, you won't go far wrong. Okay, so I'm going to post this text, the files, the examples on my blog site. I'll put the link in the video thing down there. You can see it, take a look at it, read it. You can copy it if you want. I'd advise you to just use it as a guide and not simply copy and paste it, though I know that some people might. However, so that's basically it. Any requests, you can send me a message via my website, and I'll see you next time. Okay.